previously involved in County Line's activity.
Due to his previous convictions, he would face a sentence of 7 years. Remember this, guys. And while Frosty was in jail, he actually had Kodak Black dancing to his song on Instagram Live. And had £100 and a black mobile phone was found used to advertise drugs. So this UK drill rapper has been arrested multiple times for County Line's drug operations. He'd never put music out before, but somebody released one of his songs on a random YouTube channel, which led to Kodak Black dancing to it. And this also led to him getting multiple offers from big labels to sign him. And Shabana Mahmood recently released him under their early prisoner release scheme. Today we're talking about Frosty, guys. So I can't find the original video, but this is the best I can find. I'm not sure if the original YouTube channel still exists. I've tried and tried and tried. So this one's gonna have to do. As you can see, the picture is Frosty in a prison cell. But what we do know is that the first version of the song was released in January 2019. And it had people going absolutely crazy. It took the UK by storm. And we've actually managed to find a news article from April 2019 talking about Frosty. This was the first time that the public got to fully see Frosty, you know? We didn't know who he was. At the time, what Frosty was rapping, he was rapping that raw trap shit, you know? Now, you had trap rappers beforehand. Top of my head, obviously, you had K-Trap, you had Blade Brown, you know, just to name two. There's more, I know. But Frosty had taken that to another level. There was now no filter. Frosty had removed the filter with the trap rap. And if you listen to his music, you'll hear that. Just giving real life scenarios. One of his iconic lines is, "Could've gone uni, but I'm in a tea house chilling with Scouts and Charlie. Sorry, mum." And I quote Frosty. A drill rapper who achieved fame with a song called County Lines has been jailed for his role in County Line drug dealing in Guildford. Now, I have no idea where Guildford is. Theo Beckford, 20, who is also known as Frosty, was one of 5 people sentenced at Guildford Crown Court on Friday, April 12, 2019, for their involvement in selling heroin and cocaine to more than 90 people in and around Guildford town centre. Okay, so Guildford's not far from London. Guildford's like southwest, but deep, deep southwest. Yeah, okay. Not that, it doesn't look like it's that far from Gatwick. In the track he released online in January 2019, while still on remand, Beckford, of no fixed abode, raps about drug dealing and murder and refers to undercover police watching the house from which he sells drugs. This appears to be what happened in reality. Miss Coty told the court on Friday Surrey police officers have been carrying out surveillance on Patel's flat since July 2018 before raiding the property in October. When police raided Patel's flat at around 4 p.m. on October 3rd, officers found Ibrahimi, Beckford, Zakari and Jones. Earlier the same day, they had returned from a trip to London to pick up more drugs, Miss Coty said, and was surrounded by £7,000 worth of heroin and cocaine. Miss Coty said immediately the police came in, Mr. Beckford said all the drugs were his and said to Mr. Ibrahimi in a quiet voice, "Say no comment and I will take the rap for this." The Crown say that was perhaps a noble act, but it was clear it wasn't just him. And these are reasons why Frosty has such a loyal fan base, because he's real. That is something a real brother would say. Unlike Ibrahimi, he had one previous conviction for a drug offence. In mitigation, his barrister John Swain told the court he had become determined to turn his life around after seeing he had gained success through his music. Despite having no promotion, his song had been watched 2 million times on YouTube, played on Radio 1 Extra, and bought offers of music deals from several record labels. This has given him something to look forward to, Mr. Swain said. He wants to put his life completely behind him and learn from his mistakes. He has not done so far, but he wants to assure the court that he will. But warned him that due to his previous convictions, he would face a sentence of 7 years if he found himself in court for the same crimes again. Remember this, guys. Remember this. He sentenced Frosty to 2 years and 8 months in prison, reduced from 4 years on account of his guilty plea and full confession during his police interview. And while Frosty was in jail, he actually had Kodak Black dancing to his song on Instagram Live. Everybody was talking about this. It was absolutely mad and random as hell. And Kodak Black was singing it. So this was huge. Imagine you've got Kodak Black from America, bro. One of the biggest rappers in the US. Dancing to your song that you didn't even release. That was posted on a random YouTube channel. The things that must have been going through Frosty's mind. And you know what? When he came out of jail, he didn't end up disappointing. You could see that hunger was with him. Now remember, guys, Frosty had been remanded for a while. And he got sentenced to 2 years, 8 months. do half, 1 year, 4 months. I think he'd already served 6 months beforehand because 8 months later he was released and he came straight out to a daily duppy. Now this daily duppy was him making a statement, and 6 years ago a daily duppy still held like a lot of weight. You know, it still does, but it held even more weight back then. So for somebody who's never officially released a song to come out and do a daily duppy straight away was huge. It currently sits on 2.1 million views and I've got it liked from, you know, listening to it back in the day. Views on my debut track. So things were looking very, very good for Frosty. He had the talent, he had a story, and Frosty ended up signing a deal with Warner Music, Parlophone Records to be more specific. And Frosty said multiple times it was 100 bags for his advance, 100 bags for his advance. And as a part of that deal, he ended up giving them county lines, I believe. Because if we go on to Spotify, as you can see county lines, it says Parlophone UK, and county lines 2 also says Parlophone UK. And to end 2019, Frosty ended up doing a county lines 2 remix with Fredo. Which personally I didn't think was that necessary, you know, but getting a mainstream artist to collab with you is huge. So after this, Frosty released strictly with Relentless Records. Now, Relentless Records is a label that is owned by Sony. So when 2020 started, Frosty wasted no time. He dropped H2O, which was a banger. He dropped Hate on Us with Bando K and Double L's, which was a banger. And back in 2020, Bando K and Double L's were a lot more hot. They were hotter back then. So this feature was absolutely huge, as you can see. Then he dropped Super Trapper. Then he dropped Happy Hour. Then he dropped Under Surveillance with Unknown T. Unknown T was very hot back then as well. Then he dropped Step with Steppers. Gun Boys pulled over the whip in Streatham in a Lambo truck. TSG can't keep up with this engine. Dropped Out Year 11. Back then I was on my second chefing. This is probably my favorite Frosty song with Steppers. And then we got the Under Surveillance mixtape, which for me didn't have any skips. I love this mixtape. I still go back to it here and there. He had T-Way on there. He had Mr. Bando on there. He did a feature with Dirtbike LB. He had got K-Trap and Do-Road on there. And then he did a Mad About Bars with Kenny All-Star. Kenny. You know the name. And then he released this song, Come a Long Way, with Kenny All-Star. A fun fact, one of my guys who's into camera work, he was doing some film work and he was working on this one. He was actually an extra in this video, funny enough. He's one of the people who walked out the building. I remember that was funny. He didn't know who Frosty was either. I said, what, you worked with Frosty, like Big Frosty, you know what I mean? And then after that, what happened here? What on earth went on here? Why has he not dropped for 4 years? Well, let me tell you guys what happened. Hey guys, you want to know something? Yeah, on my Krypton Conan video, I said if the video gets 1,000 likes, I'm going to go to the supermarket. And I just briefly mentioned it. I said I'd go to the supermarket opening. And do you want to know what? That video's on like 1.5k likes. So I know you man have it in you. So please, let's not be lazy. Let's get the likes up. Like the video. Thank you very much. Your support is appreciated. Well, he actually shows us what happened in his first song after 4 years at the beginning of it.
Another suspect, known to be previously involved in County Lines activity, was led away by plain-clothed officers to be searched and questioned.
Oh, well, Frosty, what exactly happened to you? Oh, well, do you guys remember what the first article said? Well, if you guys remember earlier, I told you to remember that the judge from his trial in 2019 said, if you are found to be involved in any more offenses like this, I'm going to sentence you to 7 years. Well, the judge was not capping. Frosty the Rapper jailed for 7 years for drug dealing in Winchester on the 17th of August 2022. Here's the mugshot of Frosty. Theo Beckford, 23, had been given a suspended sentence for similar dealing in 2018-19, but after he walked free from court, he was immediately back on the street supplying drugs, a court heard. Beckford's music glorifies drug dealing and violence, and increasingly popular in the music scene, he had signed a music deal with Sony. But Winchester Crown Court heard that he was also the leader of a county line in which Londoners move into the regions to sell drugs. Rupert Russell prosecuting said Beckford was stopped and searched by police in Winchester on February 2nd last year being 2021, and had £100 and a black mobile phone was found used to advertise drugs. Frosty of Martlet Close, Streatham, South London, pleaded guilty to dealing in crack cocaine and heroin. The third time he has been convicted of supply. Cocaine is also known as Snow, hence his nickname. All the usual character reference things that you say, you know, at the end. But for the drug dealing, she jailed Beckford for 5 years and 8 months, adding 16 months to committing offences on licence and in breach of a suspended sentence. Yeah, man, so Frosty was obviously sentenced, but Frosty got lucky. Because of Shabana Mahmood and Keir Starmer releasing people early, Frosty was granted early release, along with a lot of other rappers, along with Young Diz. I mean, come on, if they're letting Young Diz out, how are they not going to let Frosty out, you know? And when Frosty came home, Frosty dropped his first Fresh Home song, Avon. And he has another song that he's previewed in the studio that is very cold. I need to try find it. And it looks like Frosty released this song with the Zero Mileage label. I think that label is owned by Drill Season, the Instagram page, I think. But this was a solid release. It was decent, but I want to see more from Frosty because this was nearly 3 months ago now, you know? And Frosty's been in jail for a long time. It was this song I want to see released. To do my press up, saw people change on me. I ain't losing sleep. In me. It's not too late to change your ways and get in an all brand new routine. I had motion, they didn't. Them I helped. Now, Frosty, you see that? I need that song. I need that song. Because we're in a new time with music now, you know? The last time Frosty dropped, there was lockdown, there was COVID. Like, times have changed. The shock value that people used to get from your music is no more. Now we've got artists like Triz, who with their videos, literally go more in depth than you did. Triz has the nitties that he's shot into and talking about in all of his videos with him, bro. Triz is giving you a trap movie every time he releases a song. Triz has raised the bar with raw trap music. And for Frosty, trying to outdo what Triz is doing is not something he can do. Because he's been caught 3 times already. If he gets caught again, like, this is where they might bird him off, you know? But Frosty has the talent. His flow is unique. Very laid back, relaxed. He's got a very loyal fan base, you know? Like, as soon as I hear Frosty's home, like, I'm part of his fan base. Like, I'm checking for him. Whenever Frosty drops music, I'm checking for him. His release is on 750,000 views, and he barely did any promotion for that. Nothing. Even if we take a look at his TikTok here, you know, like, he's doing this thing, you know, my man's posting videos of him in the gym. Posted this video that was getting posted everywhere. Posted a vlog, you know.
Went to the graveyard to visit my...
So vlog, went to the graveyard to visit his dad. You know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. Like, you need them graveyard trips every so often. Like, my grandma's buried in Grenada, so I don't get to do it with her, but I go see my auntie and my uncle every so often, you know. It just gives you some peace, you know? Like, if you're going through something that you know you can't really speak to anyone about, you can speak to them about it and they'll listen to you. Billy the Goat's finally posted his clips from his stream with Frosty the other day.
Anyway, but I was saying...
Which is great to hear. I'm going to watch this later on after I post this video. But Frosty, more of this, you know, more of like who you are, your personality, you know what I mean? Because 2020 was the start of the shift in music, but now it's like, to be a rapper, especially if you're not a up there rapper, you have to kind of be a content creator at the same time. You know what I mean? You have to. It's not an option if you want to make it music. If that's how you want to go clear, it's not an option. You know, you have to. So it's like, obviously, you're going to be working on music. You're going to be working on things. But we've been 3 months in the dry. You know, we haven't had anything for 3 months. This is the first thing we're hearing from you as fans in 3 months nearly. That can't happen anymore. There needs to be a drop at least every month. You need to be active on the socials. You need people to have your name in their mouths. Get that motion back, my guy. Get that motion back. I want to see that, bro. I want to see that. I'm even going to try to get Frosty on my podcast. I'm going to see. You know what's so funny, yeah? Like, in 2020, I tried to get Frosty on a song. I emailed his label and they didn't respond to, man, innit? But, hey, don't air me again, Frosty. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I think we'll have a great podcast episode, man. If you want to come through, I'm going to message you. I'm going to see if we can make it happen. Because this space is getting patterned. And, bruv, once we have this space, bruv, I've already got so many artists lined up already. The episodes are going to be coming thick and fast every week at a minimum. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.